Thank you.
I
Thank
am
you,
fit for the
gentleman.
job. Thanks, Honorable Chair.
Yes or no? Do you believe that undue political interference by the minister should be tolerated?
Just repeat the question, Honorable.
Do you believe that undue wrongdoings by the minister should be tolerated?
No, Honorable Chair, it shouldn't be tolerated.
Do you believe that pushback towards an instruction from a minister could cost you your job?
I believe it should cost me my job, but I don't mind if I have to lose my job.
Then why did you not tell the minister directly that his instruction is unlawful?
Honorable Chair, quite a number of times I told the minister, why are you closing the team? And he just gave no reasons.
But it was an unlawful act
Well,
because it was operational. He was getting involved in operational matters.
Well, according to me, yes, but of course, I think it is up to the committee at the end of the day to decide whether is it really unlawful or is not. But for me, that's how I interpreted it, to say I think it's going beyond his scope, and hence I told him that I did emphasize that what are the reasons for this closing of the team? He might, the directive was not a request, it was a direct instruction. And I said, well, maybe he can give that, maybe he might not have that power, but what were the reasons? Why are you doing this? And unfortunately, I couldn't get answers.
Insi, earlier on you said that you are beyond reproach. Your response does not reflect that, because you are now speaking about, in your statement, winding down. That is not a beyond reproach. That is not reflective of being beyond reproach. Do you believe the political killing stars team was adding value?
Well, that I believe and I know that it was adding value.
So why are you winding it down? Is that not ultimately giving in to the minister?
Well, that's what I'm saying, that Honorable Chair, the minister was determined. Well, he issued a directive to close the team, and in the absence of me not knowing what are the reasons, I kept on saying, but why are you doing this? And I then came with the plan that, well, if he's doing it, let me then rather come up with an alternative to say, you rather wind it down, not close it the way you do.
NC, that is giving in to the minister. That is allowing political interference in operational matters. Do you agree?
Well, my belief is yes, but I'm not sure what is his view and the view of everyone.
We are not interested in the minister's view right now. We are interested in who you are. The minister made a wrong decision. You should have stood up to it. You didn't, and that is a problem for South Africa.
But one thing, Honorable Chair, is that the team was never closed. It is still operational even up to this day. I did everything that I could do, and there was no door where I didn't went to. I engaged him several times, and he shut the door. You'd recall on the 16th of January, I met the minister on other matters. We discussed those, and in the process, I raised this matter again. And he shut the door to say, no, there is a due date for submitting the report, submit the report, then we can talk. After submission of the report, there was no talk until we were in Cape Town on the 6th of March. We discussed again there, again at that meeting, right at the beginning of the meeting, I said, Minister, tell these officers, why are you shutting down the team? Because I don't see the reason why you should do it. And there were no real cogent reasons that came about. But one thing which I did, I came up with that alternative that rather than let me just wind down, because this directive looked very suspicious. So rather let me come up with the strategy of winding down. Maybe one will end up finding the reasons for the closure of this team or the disbandment of the team. And eventually at the end of the day, we end up finding out the reasons. And also, I do take what the Honorable Minister is saying, but however, the instruction was not given in secret. It was out, yes, and for some reason it was leaked to the media on the 31st of December 2024, and everyone who's sitting here, members of the public, honorable members, also saw the instruction, I'm sure, and those that really had interest in the political killings, I believe they should have also saw that something is wrong. And I'm definitely sure, Honorable Chair, that if, just giving a scenario, if this instruction was about the disbandment of a task team that was investigating farm matters, I can guarantee you, before the 3rd of January, all association and organization around agriculture, they should have risen up to this matter, because they would have seen it in public, they should have done something. But this very one, everyone, all analysts that are the best of today analyzing, including members of this House, it was quite okay. I did the best I could alone, and I tried my best. But if I have to be blamed today, well, I accept, but I did my best. And as we speak today, the political killings task team is still existing, is still working. Never mind, yes, I might have done it differently. Anyone will have an opinion how best you could have handled it. But I handled it my way, and I eventually was able to pick up what were the reasons why is the minister doing this, and the team is still there, is functioning. Thanks, Honorable Chair.
Do you believe that it was the minister's intention to close the political killings task team, or the instruction should have actually been towards the counterintelligence task team? Because that was the team that was rattling his cages. That was the team that was actually investigating these drug cartels. That was the team that was investigating the people paying for his guests to January 8th statement. Do you believe that there was confusion because it was the 10 members from the political killings task team that was deployed to counter? Do you believe that the minister shot himself in his own foot because he didn't actually understand?
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chairperson. Yes, today, as we are sitting here, indeed, I agree with you, Honorable Member. The intention was for closing whoever will be dealing with the counterintelligence operation in Gauteng. But remember, myself and you that time, we were all not aware what the main intention here is. It is only after the confiscation of Mr. Matlala's phone in May and later in June, when, because it was, I think, 14 May, Mr. Matlala was arrested. The team took quite some time to analyze what is on the phone. Only later Now we have the advantage on a hindsight to know actually what was happening. But that time, we didn't know.
Okay.
I just had suspicion something is cooking here, but I didn't know what it is.
And today it shows that your suspicions were correct. It shows that the minister wanted to put a stop. The minister, the ANC minister, wanted to put a stop to investigations pertaining to a drug cartel that has captured our country. Is that correct?
No, Honorable Chair, it's not
Sir-
the Minister of the ANC, it's the Minister of Police in the Republic of South Africa.
Deployed by the ANC.
Well, that, yes.
We need to identify where these people come from. We need to identify where it comes from, where the rot comes from. We can't be pussyfooting. Our children are dying. Yesterday, a 4-year-old child died in Mitchell's Plain. Monday, a boy was kicking his grandmother's head around because of drugs. Tuesday, a boy was chopping his mother with a shovel because of drugs. We need to understand who are the enablers that's doing this. We're not here to play games. These people are ANC aligned. It's been going on for 2 years. You and I know each other for over 10 years. We have to rot them out, and we must name them. So don't come here, NC. I have great respect for you and speak about winding down and say that you are beyond reproach. You did not protect South Africans. You exposed us to drug cartels. The minister told you, closed his door to you. We should be closing the door to the minister.
Honorable member, the chairperson has exercised his mercy for you to ask questions. And I know this is a chamber where we usually debate, but let's not debate the issue. Let's interact with the police commissioner.
Apologies, Chair. I want to ask the counterintelligence operational team, how many cases do they have, NC? And what are the case types, mainly those case types? Because we want to determine here what the minister was actually trying to stop.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I do not have the figures with me, but it's quite a number of cases. It's cases around murders, attempted murder. There will be also cases of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition, and there will be cases of fraud and corruption. But the number, I don't have it with me. Thanks. And most of those cases are the cases, as you have seen, the cases that are around Matlala's appearance, Ket Matlala, and also cases around KT Molefe. Those are the type of cases, but I don't have the figure, but it is those type of cases, murders, attempt, possession of firearms and ammunition, illegal possession, or dealing in drugs and or manufacturing of drugs. So the cases are still under investigation. Thanks.
General, I want to touch on one final aspect regarding the work of SAPS. In a system where whistleblowers are not adequately protected, whistleblowers such as Babita, do you believe that you have failed Babita?
Well, no, I don't believe I failed her.
Were you aware of the fact that she was a whistleblower?
Only after she was murdered, one became aware.
How strong is your intelligence in this country?
Well, the intelligence, they are doing their work, but of course the intelligence would not know what a whistleblower is going to say, probably. They won't know that.
Intelligence, are they not supposed to pick up on crime that is sort of brewing, the things that hasn't been brought to the front yet? Is that not the intention and the purpose of intelligence, is to garner information?
It is
and to gather information?
Yes, it is to collect and gather intelligence, yes.
So they did not know?
No, obviously, I don't know the details of the intricacies of that case and the detail of the case. I don't know it.
Since Babita's death, what have you put in place to ensure that you protect whistleblowers?
Well, whistleblowers, I know that there is legislation that is on its way to Parliament now by Department of Justice around whistleblowers. And from our side, if there are whistleblowers within the organization or whoever, we do provide whatever assistance we can do. But currently, by and large, there is no real mechanism for protection of whistleblowers. And unfortunately, of course, whistleblowers, remember, it doesn't necessarily mean you must go out in public and say whatever you say, but it means you go to authorities, you inform them what you know and what is happening, because your safety is quite important.
I think right now authorities has been compromised. Authorities, they are the criminals based on where we're sitting. So we cannot go to authorities. So how do we protect whistleblowers? If the minister himself, the head, is stopping drug cartels, and today you are saying that whistleblowers must go to SAPS. Does that make sense, General?
Well, I think you are, through you, Honorable Chair, the honorable and honorable members, we should at least take pride that which they intended that it happened, it didn't happen. We're able to stop it, and we are investigating, and we arrested people. They are the people in court, and we even discovered more. The current Ket Matlala, we discovered 18 more cases that were there lying all over, and they are brought now, they are being investigated, and you'll be facing all those cases. So we have done something, and we are still doing something with a view to deal with the matter.
And this is the team, the counterintelligence operation that the minister wanted to close down. Yeah. I want to ask you in closing, do you believe the minister must be arrested?
No, I can't express an opinion on that. There is a case that is being investigated. I think you heard from General Mkonas when he was here, that Honorable Chair, that there is a case that is being investigated, and one cannot comment on cases that are still under investigation. Thank you.
I think my final question, do you believe the people from the Cape Flats deserves an operation like the political killings task team, since the numbers on the Cape Flats triples that of the political killings task team, and the political killings task team has been made permanent. It has been ongoing since 2018. The killings on the Cape Flats has been ongoing for 3 decades. That is linked to the rest of the country, that cripples the economy of the country, because you have a concentrated section belonging to where you see mainly colored people that contribute 6% to this population, contributing the highest counts of murder and crimes to the national statistics. Do you not believe that that too, since it impacts South Africans and investment, do you not believe that this province deserves, the people are worthy of an operation that is focused on rooting out drugs?
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. Well, coming to matters of Cape Flats, the Honorable Member would be aware that we have been deploying this province since many years ago. As far as 1996-97, during those time of Packard, we have been deploying this province and changing strategies. I do agree currently, as we speak, there is over 200 police members that are in this province of Western Cape that are not belonging here. They come from other provinces to come and assist in this province. And also, we look at the strategies that we have been using, and everyone, I'm sure, knows that we arrested most of these top leaders of these very cartels. As we speak, Modak is inside, he has been sentenced, he's still facing more. There's quite a number of them that we have arrested. And also, I think at some point somewhere last year, we even commended how the media is being used and how the media is being used and also to the detriment of the public when we have the Stanfield and his wife arrested. We went to that court with the former minister myself. I don't know whether you picked it up through Honorable Chair that after that court appearance, there was never an article in the media about his arrest and his appearance in court. If ever there was, it was very just 2 lines. And we were asking ourselves why. So it shows how they have influence. But we've taken down some of the gang leaders in this province are behind jail. They are arrested. But we haven't stopped there. We are still going on. As we speak, we have changed strategies. We have developed a new plan, which was never there before. And we are now starting to implement that plan. Might not give all the details, but it is a plan that is specific, focused, unlike when we do stabilization and have one team doing investigation. This time we have specific teams doing different things while we are stabilizing the Western Cape. In terms of personnel, the province of Western Cape for the past 5 years, this is the only province that got more than 4,000 personnel additional to what they have. That shows we have interest in what is happening in the province, and we also doing our best to make sure that we fight this gangsterism. And also it gives one a relief that, yes, we have dig so much that we understand what is happening with these drug cartels, how they work, how they are linked, and we are dealing with that. And if we finish or finalize that, we'll be knowing exactly where we stand. So we are prioritizing Western Cape. It was never. Some provinces don't even get more than 10 people at any given time, but this province was the one given more police members, and we went as far as going to the previously advantaged areas. You are Cape Town, you are Claremont, reducing police personnel there and send them to Cape Flats. For example, the Makassar police station is made up of majority of police members that come from your likes of Camps Bay and Claremont and so on. So we did rectify to make sure that we don't ignore the Cape Flats, and that's what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, General. I think in closing, let me help you. You say that you are trying to find out how they work. They work via the cartels linked to the minister. You've done much over the years, done much. The crime stats remains the same. There's no impact and there's no intelligence. We need to re-look at the plan that we have for the Cape Flats and this country. I thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you so much, Honorable James. Honorable members, can I check the alternates? The alternates, those who want to speak, may you please raise your hands, the alternates, so that I can note you. I see Honorable Shikeleng, Honorable Lee Ann Matthews, Honorable Nomvalo. Is your alternate speaking? Okay. Honorable Sokanyile, do you want to speak? Yes, that's why I want to check, so that I note all of you, you speak and we know we're done. And I must make it very clear, I see Honorable Vessels is not here. And we have not received his apology. And he also has not indicated with me as the chair that he will be arriving late or he will not be here. So I have said that you are speaking on my mercy. So at the time this mercy is being granted and you are not here, you forfeit. It's not a right that can be claimed. Okay, we are going to proceed like that. Honorable Sokanyile.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Maybe just before you start, Honorable James, at any time that you may want to be released, you are released. Thank you. Continue, Honorable Sokanyile.
Thank you. Good morning to the honorable members. Good morning, General.
Morning, Honorable Member.
Yeah, I wanted to hear greeting. Then also to the administration. General, let me start with what you raised yesterday about the Board of Commissioners, whereby you indicated that the South African Police Service Act makes a provision for the establishment of a Board of Commissioners, which is composed of yourself as a National Commissioner, together with the 9 provincial commissioners. Then you also said that during meetings, you acknowledge that there is a practice of including the senior officials in BOC meetings, and yet the Act doesn't provide this. Even General Mkhwanazi, when he was here, he talked about the inclusion of the senior police officials not having the provincial commissioners and yourselves in a meeting, but you also included the senior officials in your meetings. Then General Mkhwanazi raised reservations on the attendance of the senior police officials. Can you reflect on this, as you are saying that because you are the person responsible to chair that BOC, and yet you include this difference that General Mkhwanazi had and yourself having to include the senior officials. Can you talk about that? You saw it correctly. Can you express your views as well as the reservations that General Mkhwanazi had on that?
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson and members. Yes, the board is established in terms of the Police Act to constitute exactly, as you said, the National Commissioner and the 9 provincial commissioners. But the Act doesn't prohibit any inclusion of anybody else. And the purpose of the board is an advisory body to the National Commissioner, which we, from the legal point, the legal advice that we got, that there's nothing wrong to include senior officials in that because it's not prohibiting that, and it is an advisory body to the National Commissioner in terms of various matters of coordination of in provinces. So we saw no issue or no problem because the provincial commissioners will still be included, so their views will still be taken, because it's not to say their views is going to become law or is law. They are just advising the National Commission. Instead of creating maybe two bodies, go and meet with the board and then go and meet with the other senior officials at another angle to hear their views. We saw it just as fit to have both in one meeting, and they exchange their views, give advices, and you get it from one meeting. And we saw more advantages in enriching one another in the development of the subs going forward, other than limiting it to the only 10, which if after a year or 3 years you want to go back to the memory lane, I'm sure you might not find a single one of the 10 who was there. So we saw it fit that in order for the institutional memory of the organization and development and skilling of future leaders in the organization, it is best not to lock them out, but rather include them so that you have one comprehensive management team that is moving forward in a synchronized manner. Honorable member will also recall that I did mention that practically if you have the 10 in any given time in a meeting, you will always have this risk that they have got various periods by when they will be leaving, and also one has to take the interest of the organization into consideration and at heart. Not that they don't, but the fact of the matter is they're human beings. As I said, some of them might be left with a month, some might be left with 3 months, and here you say that body must advise the National Commissioner on decisions that will go beyond their stay in the organization. Whether those advices will be for the better of the organization or not is questionable. It can go both ways, but basically we saw no infringement on the part of the Act to include them. We saw it as it is good for the organization to have them. Thank you.
Okay. Has any of the 9 provincial commissioners raised his or her dissatisfaction in the inclusion of the senior managers to the BOC? Because General Mkwanazi raised it here in the ad hoc committee to say that he was not happy about that, because it means that it is not catered for by the Act, but we're doing it. And did he in particular raise that with you, or any other 9 provincial commissioners raise that with you?
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. Yes, yeah, I think in one of the meetings, I couldn't remember when he did raise it, maybe 1 or 2 years they did raise it, and it was discussed, and We obtained legal opinion and we found it not to be a problem of including them.
Okay. You may not know why he wouldn't want other senior to be there. As you are saying that he did raise it, maybe looking at things, because yeah, it is good as you are narrating it, but why specifically wouldn't want other senior below him, want them to be there? You wouldn't know.
Honorable Chair, I wouldn't know. why.
Okay,
Thank
no,
you.
it's fine. Thanks. Then going to the 31st directive, because you said you regard that correspondence as the 31st directive, whereby you were on leave on the 30th. Then there was a correspondence that was written by the minister, a directive in particular that I'm going to talk about it now is the halting or filling of post in the intelligence division. On point 36, that is page 19 of your statement, regarding that directive, you were on leave, but there was a directive that was directed to you. Did you receive that directive?
Yes, Honorable Chair, I did receive the directive. It was sent to me through a WhatsApp by one of the officials.
By one of the officials. So it was straight to, even if you were on leave, it was given straight to you. You didn't have an acting person in opposition. Meanwhile, you were on leave?
There was somebody acting in while I was on leave. But the correct procedure, of course, yes, is to send to the Office of the National Commissioner. And that office is the one that will send to the acting National Commissioner.
So it means that the acting National Commissioner, I understand it was Musikidi or Musikidi, something like that. Musikidi. Am I correct?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
He didn't see that one. He was not given. As the acting person, you know, I'm talking on a layman point of view. I've never been to SAPS. You are in the acting position. The National Commissioner is on leave. Then the directive is given straight to you whilst you are on leave and not given to the person who's acting. Then that person liaises with you. I'm just checking.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. It was not wrong to send it to the email of the National Commission. That is the official good practice.
Okay.
And it is my office that will then send it to the acting National Commission, which they did. Thank you.
Then on point 40, that is page 20, you are saying that you don't know the reason behind the instruction that was given of halting or the filling of post in the intelligence. You are saying that you believe it was unprecedented. And you further indicate that, in your view, the minister didn't have a unilateral to prevent or halt the filling of post. Did you inquire with the minister the reasons of giving such instruction? Did you ask him?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I did ask him as to why.
Whilst you were on leave, sorry? Whilst you were on leave. Did you communicate whilst you were on leave or when you come back? I just want to add that.
All right, thanks, Honorable Chair. No, and members. No, I communicated when I came back from leave, not while I was on leave.
Then he gave you the reasons of the instruction.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. Yeah, he did give the reasons as to why he held those posts, and which we later then had a meeting and discussed those reasons. Because these reasons were that our advertisements were quite, it says they were too wide open, our adverts for posts. That was the first reason, that they were too wide open. For example, we are, if I can give an example, that we say we want, on the advert we will say, requirement is a degree or a diploma. For him, we cannot say that. We should either say a degree straightforward, not say a degree or a diploma. That's one reason. And the other reasons was that he first wanted to engage with the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence before we can finalize the posts of crime intelligence. But then I did give him a response in terms of those matters, that there's nothing wrong with the advert. That's how we put it. We know why, and I gave him the reasons why we say degree or diploma, because some few years ago, the qualification that was there for police was only a diploma. Degrees came of late. So if you say only a degree, you will be disadvantaging a certain group of employees. So if you say degree or diploma, you then include all of them. So I did. And on the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence, I told him that it's important that we fill up the post, but he said, no, once they have engaged the committee, then we will fill up the post, which, well, that took time to engage the committee, but we have since now advertised those posts.
Thank you. Then going further to disciplinary cases, on point 63, page 31, a disciplinary case against senior management, including Major General Khan. Do you mind sharing with this ad hoc committee the details of the disciplinary case against Major General Khan, and what were the outcomes of that disciplinary process?
Well, thanks, Honorable Chair. I might not know all those details, but what I know is that there was a disciplinary case about that he interfered in an operation where members have confiscated drugs, and then there was an investigation by the IPID, and the recommendation from the IPID did find that, yes, there is misconduct by Major General Khan, and the Divisional Commissioner and the National Commissioner should initiate disciplinary action against him, which that report was received, was sent to the Divisional Commissioner, and he initiated the processes, and The relevant employees, that is employer rep and the presiding, were appointed, and the disciplinary was finalized, and he was not found guilty. Thanks.
Okay. And then, General, in point 69, you indicate that the minister claimed that the president also agreed with the decision to disband the political killing task team. Then if you're saying that the minister claimed, it means that you're not agreeing that indeed the minister did meet with the president. Did you verify with the president on the claim that is being made by the minister to say that even the president was agreeing to the disbandment of the PKTT? Did you verify that, as you are saying that the minister claimed? That's what you said.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. No, I did not verify that claim, and I didn't need to. I didn't need to get involved in between the two of them to check who's right, who's wrong. That's not my that's not my field. And whatever he say, whatever he say, whether it's true or not, I can't question it. He is the one that is saying it. He met the president, but the last time I met the president, I know the standpoint of the president, that he was surprised that this is happening. And secondly, when I suggested to him that, Mr. President, if ever this happened, it should take a specific form, which is a winding down. And the president was agreeing with me in that field. So whatever later I get, I didn't see a need that now I must start checking between them who is saying what. I leave it, I respect that space, but I know where was the president standing the last time I met him. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you about that. Then again, on point 72, you indicate that Lieutenant General Khumalo's presentation was partly accepted. Can you just elaborate on why are you saying that it was partly accepted? The report was partly accepted when he made that report, or on the meeting of the 6th March with the minister, whereby Lieutenant General Khumalo was giving that report and it was partly accepted. Why do you say it was partly accepted?
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. What I mean when I say it was partially accepted is that, remember, I made a proposal to the minister on the 22nd of January. I gave him a report, and there was no response. Then on the 6th of March, when we presented this idea that, well, if ever you decide to disband the team, rather let it be wind down. So there was contestation on a lot of matters there in that meeting, and even though he didn't expressly say, I agree, but he says no, well, after this presentation, certain matters were agreed to. or were not objected. They were not outrightly objected, but there were those that were objected. For example, the taking of dockers to province was objected, and the issue that the task team go long beyond that was also objected to say, no, it must, its ban must come to an end this very year of 2025. So when one says partially, we refer to that, it looks like, for some reason, it looks like he was amenable to this winding down in a way.
Okay, I think the chairperson is looking at me. This last one, you know, when General Mkhwanazi gave evidence to this ad-hoc committee, there are recommendations that he made for the parliament to consider. One of those is the decentralization of the police function to provinces. As a national commissioner, what is your view on that recommendation made by General Mkhwanazi, especially on the decentralization of the police function? It will talk to the constitutional amendment. What is your view on that one?
Well, thanks, Honorable Chair. The current constitution says there shall be a single police service in the country. And my view, I subscribes to that you have one national police service. And the current legal framework, I think, is quite sufficient enough to have certain functions done at the provinces. I do not think you need another law to have functions be delegated to provinces. If there is any function that is required by province, it can still be done in the current framework, which with the current amendment of the Police Act that is coming, it is about allocation of resources, be it financial or personnel. Yes, currently that is done by both head office and the province. But if there is a need for more delegations to a provincial commissioner, can be done in the current dispensation. What currently is done is that the provincial commissioner, yes, he get given a certain number of people. We develop a structure, which of course provincial commissioners have to have input in it, and that structure get approved, and he get given posts, and he will sit and choose who get appointed where, which is not an issue, and the operational budget get given to the provincial commissioner. The compensation of employees, that is salaries, is managed by national. And well, whether you delegate it or you do it national, if you are paying 10 personnel, you'll still be paying 10. But I think that if there is a need, that can still be done. It does not need, might not need a law to do. It might just need the National Commissioner and the Treasury look at mechanism and delegate the whole budget of a specific province from national to a specific province. I don't think it needs any further delegation, but you need to have one single police service, one common norms, rules, and standards across nationally. Otherwise, one day you will have to carry a passport to go to another province.
Thank you very much about that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair. I finished.
Thank you so much, Honorable Sokanyile. Honorable Shongwe.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you. Sawubona, General. Uyaphila.
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. Sawubona, Honorable Member.
Siyaphila. General, I'll just shoot straight to the point. Is IPID report on Phala Phala, is it a top secret? And why is it that General Rode, who conducted an illegal investigation, because there was no case that was open for him to conduct an investigation on Phala Phala, and he was not mandated in terms of his work scope. He's alleged to have tortured suspects and is still in the same position and nothing has happened to him. Is it because he was acting under the instruction of the president?
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. General Ruode was subjected to disciplinary process. Him and other, I can't remember whether it's 2 or 3 members. He was subjected to disciplinary process, and the process ran its course, and he was found not guilty, and yeah, that was it. In terms of investigation, the members of the police, they perform their functions in terms of Section 205(3) of the Constitution, which says they are there to prevent, combat, and investigate crime, maintain public order, and protect the inhabitants and their property, and so on and so on. So any member of SAPS can do any of those functions if he knows that work. There is nothing wrong with that. But of course, members do specialize. There are those that specialize in commercial investigation, specialize in VIP protection, but doesn't mean you can't do any of the other functions.
Are you therefore saying any member can just investigate?
Come again, Honourable Member?
Are you therefore saying any member can just do an investigation, can be a detective or do an investigation at any time?
Well, you can.
My question is, was he mandated to investigate Phala Phala?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. No, the investigation was done by detectives. The investigation at Phala Phala was done by detectives from, I think, Bela Bela, if I'm not mistaken. And in as far as preliminary investigation, yes, the commander can and is expected to do preliminary investigation or whatever happens. Let's say a member loses a firearm here in Parliament. The commander is not going to sit back and phone Cape Town Central detectives and say there is a firearm lost here. No, it's expected that commander to do preliminary investigation, find out what happened. Is it indeed this firearm lost wherever? Because quite often things are not the way they are. So it's expected to do prelim investigations, and thereafter the detectives or the assigned component will come and take over and do whatever they expected to do.
Is the Phala Phala a top secret thing? That question you didn't top secret. The IPID report.
Well, I wouldn't know. I received a report which, based on that, we charged General Ruode on. I'm sure IPID can answer that question better.
So IPID doesn't report it?
Honorable Shongwe, before you.
Not at all.
General, the statement that you deposed with us, does it have the part that you are dealing with now, the two of you?
It doesn't have, Honorable Chair.
Are you comfortable to respond to questions that are not on your statement?
I am not comfortable because I might not have other facts to the matter at hand.
Okay. Well, I will advise you, Honorable Shongwe, if there are additional matters to the statement that you may want to raise with the general, you can do that in writing, so that we do not inconvenience the witness. And I think this is a fair point, honorable members. Honorable Malim.
No, Chair, you're not going to make such a ruling. The general was asked yesterday about people who are being searched when he was sitting there. People who are being searched while he was sitting there. It was not in his statement. He was comfortable to answer those questions. So if you can answer about something that it didn't happen when he was in the office, while he was on a witness stand, what stops him about us answering a question that is police related? And he has been doing well. He says, well, I may not answer that one. IPIT might be able to deal with that. But to stop members from asking the top cop about issues of the police, they don't have to be in his statement. He answered yesterday comfortably about a matter that was taking place at that time while he was here. So it's unfair to rule a member out of order and say he must write a question, which is a well-known issue in the country. It's unfair. It might not be in his statement, but it's a well-known issue. He wants to respond to it, he will respond to it. If he thinks he doesn't have facts to that effect, he will say, no, I don't have facts. Please refer it to the relevant people, and we take it like that. Not that we must write questions when he was comfortable answering questions about a prevailing matter while he was sitting here. Thanks.
Honorable Nombalo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. Partly covered by the latter speaker. Chair, I just wanted to invite your attention to, within the terms of reference, to paragraph 4.1.2, which says, amongst the things that we need to investigate, is any related claim regarding corruption, financial or otherwise bribery or misuse of public resources within SAPS and any other relevant institution. So the question raised to the witness is not peripheral. It is not of context. It is within the scope of framework of this ad hoc committee. So like the honorable member has correctly said, that it must be a witness that says, I'm not able to answer to this question, but we are not off context here because the IPIT matter and the Palapala report fall within the ambit of the work of the SAPS. And the question is asked for a purpose of making a determination of whether the decision to declare it as top secret was correct or not. And if it was not correct, is it related to this allegation that is here, which talks about the misuse and ethical behavior in the SAPS and so on and so forth? So I think you have been unfair to the member, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Okay. I think you, honorable members, you have a fair point. I accept the point of order. It is sustained. May you continue, Honorable Shonga.
In my defense, Chair, ngicabanga ukuthi njengomhlali waselokishini eDavidton, when a caliber of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi says, here sitting in front of us is the most powerful person in the SAPS, I think in my mind as umuntu waselokishini, it tells me that he should know everything that happens at SAPS. Am I wrong, Chair? But the question was, is the IPIT report a top secret? Can we pass that?
I don't know, through you, Honorable Chair, members, I don't know. I think the IPIT themselves can be in a better position to respond to that question, because IPIT do not report to me. They have got an executive director of IPIT, which that executive director report directly to the Minister of Police. Thank you.
Are you ever informed when there is top secret reports? You ever know when there's a report that is said to be a top secret?
It will depend, through you, Honorable Chair. It will depend whether it's a report sent to me or is a report that, if it's not directed to me, I will not know. But if it's a report that the author writes to me, then I will see that it is a top secret report.
So, ngokuzwa kahle uthi you do know when it's a top secret report or not.
Yeah, I'll know. It gets written.
So is this one a top secret or not?
I don't know, Honorable Chair. I don't have it. I don't know the classification of that report.
Okay, for the sake of my time, can I put that question in writing maybe, because I need that answer, Chair. Thank you. Where was I? Okay, SAPS is an instruction-based division. Even if when you go into a course, they give you a call-up instruction. Am I correct?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
So how much of a problem is illegal and unlawful instruction from a political office bearers? You were recently illegally instructed to disband the PKTT by the currently suspended minister who should have been fired, which is a violation of Section 207 of the Constitution. Would you say another big problem in SAPS is the fighting of, would you say another big problem in SAPS and the fighting of crime is criminal network capturing political office bearers, and those office bearers do the bidding for criminals like we see in the drug trafficking, illegal mining, and political killings?
Yes, thanks, Honorable Chair. I'm not sure, are you asking that, do I agree with the statement, or I'm not
No,
sure?
I'm asking you, how much of a problem is illegal and unlawful instructions from the political office bearers? Then my statement on that one, just to motivate that, is that you were recently instructed by the currently suspended minister to disband the PKTT team. So I'm asking with how much of a problem is illegal and unlawful instruction from political office bearers? How much of a problem is it in your space?
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chair and members. I wouldn't say it's a big problem, because some of the instructions or views, the ministers will ask about whether can we do something like this, and we'll advise him that no, we don't do it this way, we do it this way. So that's how it goes. And yeah, even with the previous ministers, there was no insistence. I think this is a typical one that one I've seen. Some in the past, yes, one might say something and he will be advised to say, no, we don't do it this way, we do it this way, and there were never problems.
Thank you. While I appreciate the delay tactics you played in delaying Minister Mkhunu from disbanding the PKTT, but I want to know, was this instruction illegal from Minister Mkhunu? And if it was legal, at what stage did you know that it's an illegal instruction from him? And did you inform him that this is an illegal instruction? And just to finalize that, what happens to such instructions that are deemed to be illegal? What should happen to that person who gives such an instruction?
Well, as to what happens, I think is a question that one will not have an answer to it. But my view, yes, I view it as an encroachment. It's an area that was never explored before in this regard. I don't think there was ever I don't know, but a national commissioner that ever got an instruction of this nature in writing. So As I said, Honorable Chair, I viewed it with suspicion, especially the way it came about. Hence, I didn't want to implement it immediately. And, but eventually, we end up finding that, no, indeed, after we find out what was the motive behind, that's when we can concretely say, no, but this was illegal. At the beginning, as I said, today we're sitting here knowing what we know now. Yes, one can 100% say this was an illegal instruction. But that time, without the background as to why are they doing this, they knew what they were doing. And we didn't know. Only after 13 May did we then know that actually the arrangements to disband the task team started immediately after the search of Mr. Matlala's premises and the arrest of Mr. Molefe. The plans to start the process of disbanding started from there moving forward. That's what the chart shows, and that's what my other officers that have got these reports on their toes, they will come and tell you. Then it became very clear that this was illegal. Right from the beginning, yes, I viewed it as illegal encroachment, but not so sure, and also not sure why is he doing this. Hence, I asked him, but why you do this? And the man could not give me reasons.
Okay. Have you reported such a matter to the president?
Through you, Honorable Chair, I reported everywhere. I reported to the President, General Mkonazi, reported to Police Portfolio Committee. I kept on asking the minister every time. The 6th, I asked him, why are you doing this? I mean, the 16th of January, I asked him, why are you doing this? Shouldn't you have given us time that we brief you? What is PKTT? What are they doing before you disband it? And there was no room to accommodate that. 6 March, 27 March, still same. So where else should one go? There is no other door. Which door to go? I can't take him to court. I can't take him to United Nations. On a hindsight, or if, as I said to the previous member of parliament, that everybody in South Africa, all the analysts that are here today, members of this August House, we were all there. And luckily, this specific instruction was out in the media. In as much as it was directed to me, yes, but everybody had the opportunity to have seen it, luckily. And none of anybody have ever saw something wrong with it. That's why I said, I'm just making a hypothetical example that should it have been this instruction issued, the task team was investigating political, farm matters. Do you think the situation would have been the same? I'm sure surely me and you know it wouldn't have. Those quotas of the society, they should have risen up. But this one, different. So we end up now, yes, fighting this, trying our best. So one tried his best under circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you. So I didn't get the clear answer of, after you have reported, where else you've said you have reported, did you report to the president? Did you speak to the president about this illegal instruction?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. Yes, on the 1st of February 2025, I did meet the President on the matter. I reported to him that I received this instruction, and I even remind him about the team, and he knows the team because the team did brief him 17 March in Durban. So that this team has been disbanded, and I don't know why, and been disbanded urgently, and he was taken aback also why it is this happening. And that's why I said, well, it's not, I don't want to cause conflict between the two of them, but I said, this is not a request or a view, it's an instruction that I must do it. And I did try to knock for, if there is, can we engage on further on this matter? And the minister said no. Of course, I should submit the report, which I submitted, that report that he required. So, and he said he'll discuss with the minister. But of course, I said to him, my proposal, if this thing goes ahead, which I don't know why it must happen, it should take the form of slowly winding it down so that work cannot be disrupted. And the president says, yeah, well, I think if it happens, that's what he will support.
So at the time you were speaking to the president, at that time, were you then knowing that this is an illegal instruction, or you're just still not sure whether it's illegal or it's still encroachment?
Well, it was not really sure, but believing that this looks like encroachment or illegal, but not one can't say, yeah, 100% it was illegal.
So the only answer you got from the president is no, ngizokhuluma naye. That's it.
That's correct.
The fish rots from the head, General. And if the country was to clean up the policing and bring back the confidence in fighting crime, I think we will need to zoom in the MPs, members of parliament, the executive and the judiciary. So my question is, we have few cases of you dealing with executive. Can you, without compromising your investigation, detail the extent of the rot in parliament and the judiciary of compromised individuals who uses their position in favor of criminal elements?
Yeah, well, through you, Honorable Chair, members, where there is investigation, we will proceed doing those investigations. I think we will not leave any stone unturned. Doesn't matter who, we will do our work, whether it's within general public, parliament, judiciary. We will definitely do our work. Of course, some of these things, when they start, you might not really know exactly what it is all about. We have a I think there is one case which I learned about it later, which one of my officials, General Kumal, I'm sure will detail more about it. I think it refers more to the judiciary, whether the case at the end of the day was really a matter that people are involved, that they are investigating the case, so they will be able to talk more on such cases.
In your general understanding, is Lieutenant General Sibia corrupt according to the evidence you have in front of you or the report given to you?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. One will say alleged. You can't say somebody is corrupt before he's even found guilty. But there is concerns in terms of linkages that we are finding, that we are still investigating, Honorable Chair. So it is too early to come to that stage or conclude, as you say.
But as a powerful person, or person in the position of a powerful, as a person in a powerful position, like Ubaba Mkhwana has said, does the evidence say, or does it give that direction what is corrupt? Current evidence you have, or the report?
Well, it is safe that I say we are investigating. There are concerning connections and reports. We are investigating those matters.
All right, thank you. The confidence of the public in the justice system is impacted by the perception that those who hold political power are not treated the same as those who are ordinary citizens. A classic case is Phala Phala scandal, hence singazi ukuthi top secret or not. There are people who are arrested for having undeclared foreign currency and having above illegal limit of foreign currency. Yet the president was not even investigated by SAPS for both offenses. Even when pushed, SAPS didn't even confirm that the president was investigated. Yet ordinary citizens are arrested and charged. When you fail as SAPS to act against people who break the law, who happen to be in political power, how do you expect ordinary citizens to have confidence in the institution?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. No, investigations are done to whomever. There's nobody that doesn't get investigated if there is a matter. As far as I know, there was investigation by both, I think, Bela Bela, police, SAPS, and also the DPCI. I know they were investigating other cases, even though, of course, they wouldn't be reporting that to me. I'm sure they report to the minister that, so there were investigations around Phala Phala.
Was the president, actually, did SAPS confirm that the president was being investigated?
Well, they were investigating the incident, as far as I know, that happened there, and I think the fact that I'm not briefed on the investigation, I don't know what was in the docket. It will be safe to say I know that there was investigation and or two investigations, one by the SAPS in Bela Bela, one was done by the Hawks. And there is a case currently that I know for the people that did a break-in. And another case I know there was case investigated by the DPCI.
All right, Chair. I just want to finish up. Thank you, Chair. One question. I think I still don't understand how to ask you this question. Uti, remember that when this Phala Phala issue happened, we as a country had interest. Maybe if I should ask you is this: how interested? What is your interest, or how much of an interest do you have in the PKTT cases versus interest in the Phala Phala case?
I do have interest in any cases, my work that cases be investigated. But however, there is a difference. Cases that are investigated by general detectives of SAPS, yes, they will give me feedback. But cases that are investigated by the Hawks, they report to the minister, not to me.
No, Chair, I think in Sengshawa's alternate like
Thank you so much. I want to thank you, honorable members who are alternates. You have been very consistent in terms of compliance with my instructions. Can we move to honorable? We are going to take honorable Shikeleng and thereafter honorable Matthys. We break for tea. Can the two honorable members follow each other? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good morning, General. How are you?
Three honorable chair and members, good morning, honorable member. I'm fine, thanks.
It's not the first time that you appear in front of me for questioning. General, I'd like to make a statement. I think in my life I've called you 3 times, and the reasons for those calls were because the issues were of a serious nature. Yesterday you told us that General Mkonazi had approached you various times within his career in the SAPS to discuss serious matters with you too. It doesn't appear as if he just called you generally to discuss frivolous matters or just ask you some silly things. Am I correct in that?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. So, General, as the leader of an elite SAPS task team, because you are the leader, at the end of the day, you're the head, you've described this task team as performing excellently. How is it that you did not immediately intervene or instruct that the decision to disband the unit be placed on hold until your return to the office after you were informed about the letter on the 2nd of January?
Thanks, through you, Honorable Chair. I would remember that I did indicate that I was on leave, and I was with the Minister on the 28th. Hence, I did say to the team, they can write reports, and I'll attend the matter when I come back. Remember, there was nothing done in that period. So, yeah.
General, it's very strange to me that if this task team was performing so well that you didn't immediately pick up the phone, but we'll leave that for now. You stated that during your leave period, General Musikili was the acting NASCOM. Is that correct?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
Was it then General Musikili that gave General Sabia the instruction to proceed with closing the PKTT?
Honorable Chair, I did indicate that there was nothing that was done until I come back from leave, in as far as the closing of the team is concerned. Hence, I told them while on leave that I'm not going to bother myself with this. I do not want to attend crisis that is generated by other people unnecessary. I was with the Minister on the 28th, he didn't say anything, so I didn't see any need. Why should I rush for such an instruction while I was on leave? So nothing was done until I was back.
All right, General, thank you. So if nothing was done until you came back, then you were the person that gave General Sabia the instruction to proceed with closing down the PKTT.
I did, Honorable Chair, I think yesterday did indicate that when I came back, he came to me with a letter that was effecting the Minister's instruction, which was directed to General Kumalo, where he was bringing the letter that I signed, and I didn't sign that letter. The next day, the 15th, after I said, well, remember, first day I told him that I don't want us to do this. If ever we have to do it, we're not going to do it this way, because remember, I said this instruction it wasn't a consultative sort of letter. It was a direct instruction that you do this thing. So I said, well, if we do it, we will do it in this fashion, which I said is the winding down, face-out approach. And I referred him to a Major General to go and assist him in the report. And the 15th, when he came back, in that letter or report, I still saw immediate disbandment. I didn't really read the whole letter. And that's when I switch off and say, no. I see that we want to go this direction, so leave this matter. I would write the report because I understand what do I want to suggest with the Minister.
Thank you, General. General, so if you earlier on said that the email was sent to your email address from the Minister, how did General Sabia get hold of the document? And then how did he go about coming to see you with a plan?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I did indicate that it is standard that the email will be sent to my office, and I did indicate that I directed my office to send it to the relevant deputies which they sent to the acting national commissioner, which is General Msikiri, and also sent to Lieutenant General Spear.
Thank you, General. So I'm going to go back again and say to you, so in actual fact, you are the person that affected the closing of the PKTT, because you sent it, you instructed that the email gets sent forward for discussion. That is how it is. So, General, if General Mkonazi did not hold the press briefing on the 6th of July, would you still have opposed the closing of the PKTT? Because clearly what you're saying now, and the impression that you created at the Portfolio Committee on the 5th of March, is not the same. Because you never once said you are opposed to closing this task team.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I did indicate that this directive was like an order that I must do, and I find ways to do it, and I want to engage the minister that we discuss this, because, as I said, of concern on the directive was he did assessment and this. The team is no more relevant, and which I said, but that can't be true. That's why I wanted engagement of the minister, that let's engage and discuss, and he kept on not acceding to this engagement. So the team would have been still have been there. It wouldn't have gone anywhere. It would still have been there. And remember, after we discovered what is, after General Kumana Mkonasi briefed me about what is the main intention of this, then that's when I say, no, now that we know, we're not gonna now participate in any further this disbandment or this phase-out approach. And I immediately also notified him that I want to meet you and see you on this matter. And unfortunately, again, that meeting never happened. It only happened a Monday after the 6th of July.
So you waited until General Mkonazi spoke to the media before you actually took action. That's what you're telling us. But
No,
nevertheless, it's fine.
No,
On the
Honorable-
28th of March at about 10 o'clock, and this is on your note SFM 14 on page 278, there's a discussion that says on the 28th of March 2025 at about 10 o'clock, a meeting was held at the Head Office Crime Intelligence between the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Kumalu, and the Divisional Commissioner of Detectives, Lieutenant General Sentimule. And then it further goes on to say that they decided together that the dockets, those 121 dockets, it says here 118, but we know it's 121, would then be given over to murder and robbery to Brigadier Kgopopoditata to investigate. And so they made that decision. Did they inform you about that decision that they had made to then give the dockets over to murder and robbery? Before you received this note, did they inform you?
No, Honorable, through you, Honorable Chair, no, they didn't inform me. I did say that I picked up somewhere in late April, May, that dockets are around the headquarters.
So they didn't inform you about the dockets, because, you know, I see here that this was signed by you on the 22nd of July, and I go back to, I am not sure that if the press briefing on the 6th of July wasn't held, if we would be sitting with the same document that you signed and said that the dockets should go back to where they come from. And in actual fact, you say they should be taken back to their station of origin. You don't actually say that they should be taken back to the PKTT. So, yeah. If the PKTT was delivering results in such high crime areas as we've said, there was then obviously no operational justification for the dismantling of it without a clear replacement strategy. And you started winding it down, but you did not. There's no clear replacement strategy. Have you evaluated the impact of the decision on violent crime levels that they were operating in, and will you table those findings publicly with us? Did you do some evaluation on the impact of this?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think right at the beginning, the Honorable Member spoke about, what did I say about station of origin?
Yeah, you said that the dockets must go back to station of origin. The dockets be returned to the station of origin.
The instruction on that, what I was, the context of what you are reading there, Honorable Member, through you, Honorable Chair, is that, remember, the meeting of the 6th March, General Sibiya and the Chief of Staff and the Minister argued to say, I said the dockers can go to the province. They argued to say the dockers must not go to province because you will have the provincial murder and robbery, and you'll have the PKTT at the province of KwaZulu-Natal under the guise of murder and robbery, which I said, but if it's like that, would we have a problem? They say, no, that's not disbandment. Minister was saying disbanding, meaning it must be disbanded. So no dockers should go to the province, but to station of origin. That's not me, it was them that said that. And that specific point did gain traction in that meeting to say no docket must go to province, but station of origin. So the context that is there that I wrote there is that I'm saying to General Sibiya, now you are bringing a submission to me asking to go and investigate these dockets that are at head office. Why would docket be head office if the last time we spoke of dockets on the 6th of March, the agreement was dockets go to station of origin? That is the context of what you are reading there. That's how you should understand that.
Thank you, General. So I just want to say then, I mean, you say that that meeting took place on the 6th of March, where you were present at, where they said the dockets must go back. And then on the 28th of March, there's a meeting between Lieutenant General Khumalo and Sentamule to discuss these dockets and where they should go to. But you had a meeting on the 6th, and then they decide that the dockets must go to murder and robbery. So I don't know, somewhere there's a disjoint here for me. Something doesn't make sense. And what I'm really getting, and it was very clear out of General Mkhwenazi's testimony, that the SAPS at a national level is highly divided within the leadership, because it really feels to me like there's something that is not right here. And it seems to me that this is driven more by politics and loyalty to certain factions than to competence. Because as the National Commissioner, you take responsibility for the culture and for the steps that happens within this SAPS. So, I mean, and the command structure comes from you. This, in the first place, this should never have happened because the minister should never have given the instruction. That's clear. So the minute the minister gave that instruction, you were the one that should have stood up and said, this is not the SAPS that I'm building. This is not what should be happening. Am I correct?
Yeah, no, I do, through you, Honorable Chair, I do hear, Honorable Member. I think you put a lot of facts and you go on. To assist you, Honorable Member, on the first part of your comments, what I was saying there, maybe it creates confusion to you, the murder and robbery or serious and violent crime, right? These dockers mysteriously find themselves in Pretoria. Now, an application is submitted by General Sibiya to say, I want to send a serious and violent crime team from head office to go to KwaZulu-Natal to investigate these cases. And that, what you see, is a disapproval to say, no, I can't send another team there because there is already a PKTT there, and dockets must go back to the PKTT. and which eventually did happen. And also remember, when General Mkhwanazi did the media briefing or press briefing, it is after that we now, me and him and General Kumalo, we now know what was the objective of doing this. We had now information that what is happening. So whether he did a press briefing or not, we were now empowered at that time to say, now we understand why the minister and General Sibia and them were doing this, and we are not going to now allow it. And well, then he did the press briefing. It's not to say if he didn't do the press briefing, the PKD would have been closed. No, I sustained the PKD from that time, yes, the ups and downs until in that July. But in June, we became aware what was the real reason. So after I know, I can't still allow it to go that route. Hence, I said to Minister, I want to see you, I want to discuss this matter. But he couldn't still see him. I only saw him after the 6th of July.
Thank you, General. General, I mean, you've said now that after you became aware of the issues, surely then it was your responsibility to hold the press briefing actually, and not General Mkhwanazi, if he, as the head of the SAPS.
Well, probably we deal with, through Honorable Chair and members, we probably deal with matters differently. Mine, I said, they must brief me, and I compile a report, and I was going to take that report to the President to say, the President, this is the discovery, which eventually I did, but even though I did after the press briefing.
Thank you, General. General, my last question is, here where we sit today, the release of the crime statistics has been delayed by over 2 months in South Africa. I asked you about it previously. It's not the first time I'm discussing it with you. Would it be fair to say that the inner turmoil currently within the SAP is contributing to the delays and affecting the organization's overall functioning?
Of course, that's through you, Chairperson. One cannot deny that, yes, indeed. I mean, there was a change of ministers and there was a lot of things to be done. And yes, but it will be released soon, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson. I really do feel that, General, that there's something lacking here. And I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe of my colleagues in the room will ask questions, but I really, there's not once in anything that you've said to me today or the way that you displayed anything to us to say that you were not in agreement with the closing of this PKTT. And I don't know, you can tell me today I'm wrong, but nowhere is there communication from you that I can see that you've submitted or anything that you've told us except for you tried to speak to and you did this and you contacted somebody, but nowhere were you not in agreement with this. Am I correct to say there's nothing on paper from you saying that you were not in agreement with the closing of this PKTT?
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members. Honorable Member, if I agreed that the team be shut down, it should have been shut down. On a hindsight, you can see that the purpose of this instruction was to shut down the team while I was on leave for those few days. That's why it was immediate, urgent, which I said, no, you can compile reports, but don't do anything until I arrived. After I've arrived, Honorable Chairperson, from that time, where we were all in this space where we don't know the motive behind this, and me trying to find motive from the minister and not coming, up to today. Yes, the team has ups and downs, but the team is still operating. As I said, I did the best. On a hindsight, for honorable members today, because we have got more information when the instruction was issued, now you know what is the motive. Yes, you can reason that, no, maybe National Commission should have done 1, 2, 3. But if you were in my position that time, not knowing all these motives, and I think, well, I did the best I could, and the team is still there up to today. I might not have been perfect, I might not have been done the way you might have liked I should have done it, but I did it my way, but I sustained the team is still there, well, of course, with problems. We are rebuilding it now, and we are opening a new political task team in Gauteng to deal with problems of Gauteng. Thanks.
Thank you, General. I have last question for you. Do you think that that crime intelligence in South Africa is savageable? Do you think that we can still have a crime intelligence in our country that is not going to be under scrutiny, or how are you going to fix that department? Thank you.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. Well, the appointment of the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Khumalo, to that division did brought a new hope in that division with a view to resuscitate crime intelligence. I believe it can still be done, and the former minister was agreeable to the reforms that we wanted to do there. Unfortunately, there was change of administration, and in the new administration, there was no further traction or agreement. Remember, the National Commissioner, when he place or transfer a member of level 14 and above, that is a Major General and above, I must have concurrence of the minister. I just don't do it myself alone. I must have concurrence of the minister, and if the minister don't concur, you will struggle. But we can still salvage crime intelligence. There are good men and women that in that division that are doing well, and I must tell you, since Lieutenant General Khumalo arrived there, we saw tremendous work being done. We have a lot of successes. We're still having them now, yes, under the ailing conditions. But of course, we need cooperation of all, cooperation of the executive, which is the minister and his deputies. We need your cooperation as honorable members, because sometimes most of the distractions and disruptions in that division come from this honorable house. That's the biggest problem. It doesn't matter which political party, but it comes from also from this house. Whether what their interest is, I wouldn't know. But we can still salvage that division and make it the best, and it can be able to be reformed and developed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General. General, I do think that we have a lot of good men and women in blue in our country. I think it is our collective responsibility to make sure that we create a good working environment for them to ensure the safety of the citizens of South Africa. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Honorable Shigeleng, I want to thank you so much. Honorable Matheus, are you ready?
We're born ready, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning. It still is to honorable members and to the National Commissioner. National Commissioner, what conditions or material conditions, I would say, informs the decision to establish a task team? Yesterday, you also spoke that we have a task team in Manguzi. I think I've also heard you speak about the rhino poaching task team and then that. So operationally and strategically, what is happening that these teams are established?
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. The task team are established at various levels. It can be a station commander's task team, which might consist of 4 or 5 members to address a specific crime problem. Can be under the provincial commissioner, can be a national task team established by either the structure called the National Crime Combating Forum or the National Joints by the Deputy National Commissioner Policing, or it can be directed from National Commissioner to be established. So it depends where the problem is. And normally the community and or the honorable members and or the executive minister or the president can identify like a specific problem, and we might say, well, we'll address that problem through ordinary policing, or let's establish a specific task team that will deal with the specific problem. So it gets established at various levels.
Okay, so we will establish it's in response to a specific problem, but obviously it's regarding criminality. And do you take into consideration the level of criminality for us to put in resources into that? So in the bigger scheme of things, let's say the rhino poaching opposed to GBV rates. Like, does that come into consideration, or is it pretty much a political decision, like as we have seen in the case of the Ramaphosa, President Ramaphosa went to KZN, attended a funeral, announced at the funeral, we're going to establish a political task team, used the ruling party's position in parliament and in government to say, okay, we're having leadership problems here in the ANC and we can't deal with the greed and the desire for power, whether it's councillors or whether it's their deployees to strategic positions. So we're going to use state resources to do that. So I was asking that question to try and determine, like, how do we prioritize criminality in this country and our response to it?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We prioritize crime, not to say in terms of if it's party political. No, we prioritize crime and we respond accordingly. Even the president, when he was there, he said he didn't establish it for purposes of specific party councillors. It was for political killings, and the task team indeed did sterling work with regard to what they did in KwaZulu-Natal. They arrested for killings of IFP councillors. There's been IFP councillors in Zululand that were killed. There's been DA councillors. You remember there's a DA councillor killed at municipality around Howick, forget the name of the municipality there. There's been arrest in that regard. You remember the DA councillor in Beckville who banned his family there and accused other people. We made a breakthrough there. So it's not about a specific party. No, the task team was dealing with matters of whether it's within a party or is one party killing another party. The team did sterling work and arrested in everyone. We do have, in terms of GBV, Honorable Member, we have a unit. It's not a task team. It's a specific unit that is there. We call it family violence and child protection, that is dealing with the cases. And of course, remember, where there is such a case which we might not understand how it is, it's high-profile case, GBV, we do establish those task teams to go and investigate and make a breakthrough. After breakthrough, then we dissolve the task team. It's not that we prioritize rhinos and politicians over other people. No, we prioritize crime.
Okay, General, the less we say about the FCS, the better, but the point was just that we just wanted to establish the political involvement of political parties, specifically the ruling party called the ANC. And I acknowledge that there are political parties that also, other political party members that are also investigated. But yesterday we were told that the majority of these political killings are ANC members and their deployees too, and I'm sure you will agree with that, but we can move on to that. I know you're trying to keep a neutral position, but we must just be honest that it is the ruling party that has brought us here with the Political Killings Task Force. And not that the task force is not doing a sterling work. I'm just talking about the fact that state resources are mobilized to deal with matters affecting political party in particular. Let's talk about your counterintelligence operations vacancies. So in paragraph 52 on page 25 of your statement, you said that there have been cases where investigations or reports, no, the question here is there cases where these investigations or reports can be deliberately or falsified to target certain individuals? Have you had a problem like that? And can this process of counterintelligence investigations and report be weaponized against certain people within the South African police force, but the country at large?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. No. The counterintelligence investigation cannot be weaponized. It's purely investigating those people that are involved. If you recall, this crime in Gauteng was, we don't say it's new, it shows it has been there. If I look at the cases now of this Ket Matlala, the 18 new cases I'm talking about, which are not part of those that I had caught, it shows that this thing has been for quite some time there around. So, and we discovered it only after the killing of Amaswart in Vereeniging. So there is no weaponization. It's investigation that is based on what has been done, murder or attempted murder or illegal possession of firearm, and it is those people that get linked there. No weaponization of the Gauteng counterintelligence investigations that I'm aware of. Yes, there might be weaponization of maybe other structures against the team, yes, but this specific counterintelligence investigation is not targeting anybody falsely. So they do their work perfectly. So.
Okay, so there's no room for abuse and.
Through you, Honorable Chair, if you look at the record, the cases that they started in 2019 and in 2018, you have seen most of them, they have convictions of late recently. And if you look at those convictions, I mean, there is no judge or magistrate that can hand down those many lives and 40 years and 50 years if they did not get evidence. One thing I'm sure which, well, from our side, which we do give credit to, is General Kumar. He was never a detective, but actually he's the best detective now in the country, that I must say. And most people knows that's how it is.
The instruction that you received from the minister on that letter when you were on leave, it says that you must also halt the recruitment, and you said that it was unprecedented and beyond the minister's lawful powers. What did you do about that? Because we've been dealing mainly about the political killings task team. That was one of 3 instructions on that letter. So the halting of filling those positions in crime intelligence, what was done about that? In crime intelligence, sorry.
Yeah, we, through your Honorable Chair, and thanks, Honorable Members. Yes, I did engage the current new acting minister, and I have subsequently advertised those posts. They are being in the process of being filled. Well, I didn't know why. Well, I did say why he said why he was stopping the filling of those posts, but I have since advertised those posts. And even the rounds of promotions also have been advertised.
Okay, so you just continued with the process. It was done recently because that instruction was given in December. We're now in October. So you didn't halt the filling of those posts in crime intelligence. But I'm saying what action was taken in the first place against the minister for even giving that instruction? Did you report him anywhere? Was there any, did you even report to the committee? Because you presented an annual report to us, and I don't remember that being highlighted, that you got an instruction to stop, and that would have been a platform where members of parliament could have engaged the minister to ask why he would give such an instruction.
Yeah, no, that I didn't report anyway. I engaged him personally, and he agreed to say, let's meet and discuss. And we eventually met, and he expressed what is his problem. And I was able to tell him what he sees as a problem is not a problem. And he agreed that, okay, you can now proceed. But of course, he said he still wants to go to the other committee, which that was the part that was outstanding.
On the media briefing, did you think General Mkhwanazi overreached when he went and he did the media briefing?
Well, it's difficult to say, but well, I think, well, he did what he did, so I don't see anything wrong with it. Because the provincial commissioner can do press briefing in his province, and he can. And he did tell me that he's going to talk about the political killing stars team, give their successes, and then he went beyond that, so I don't have a problem with that.
Why did you choose to write an affidavit when he requested you to write an affidavit about the transfer of files, and you didn't act on it yourself? You gave under testimony that you submitted an affidavit, and on that affidavit, based on that affidavit, he opened cases about obstruction of justice, amongst other things, on the 121 dockets that were transferred.
Well, through your Honorable Chair, remember here it is after the fact. After we know that what was happening is a crime. And remember I said, after I had the dockets, that was agreed that if ever the team is closing, dockets must go to station. All of a sudden, these dockets are now here at head office. And I said, there can't be dockets here, they must go where they come from. And those processes were started to get those dockets back. But before that, after one became aware that this, what is being done is actually a crime, then you report a crime at a police station with an affidavit.
So why didn't you do it and left it to the KZN commissioner to do it?
I do what?
Why didn't you open the case as the commissioner, because it affected you directly? And you gave an affidavit to him to open the case, so he became the complainant. That's my understanding. Or am I not, I didn't get it correctly?
Well, the offense happened in KZN,
Okay.
and I gave him the affidavit. Giving the affidavit, you open a case through an affidavit.
And there was no other internal processes that you took outside of sending the affidavit to him to open the case in KZN against those who were involved in moving the files?
Actually, I think he's not, well, he's doing an inquiry that he's busy with. I can't here as a national commissioner investigate or investigate a case at head office. Case must be investigated somewhere. from police station. So what I did was right.
You don't have to, so the question is just internally as the National Commissioner, like there has to be some internal processes that you could have instigated outside of the criminality and actually open a case. Did you do any of that? Just internally, because there are processes, DCs, etc.
Yeah, internally, you should be aware that Lieutenant General CBI is suspended and there is disciplinary process that is undergoing.
Okay. And that formed part of it.
That's correct, yes.
National Commissioner, the media briefing, there seems to be a lot of movement after that media briefing in SAPS. And could it be that this media briefing is, we're not going to really get genuine systemic changes because now it's in the media, our country is all up in arms in it. So those who halt and obstruct investigations in this country are just, submarined. So we've seen movement. And then once the country moves on to something else, we are going to be back to square one and possibly even regress any further. So what systemic changes do we need in the whole justice system, and I guess in the police in particular, to ensure that we don't have, it's going to be the same script, different cast? We've dealt with these ones that have come up now, and we've left a void, and then another crop comes in and does the same thing.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson and members. Well, we need, yes, an overall of the system of criminal justice. We need oversight to various institutions. Just to give an example, I think during General Mkhwana's testimony, I didn't watch it, the whole of it, either here or at the Madlanga Commission. Somewhere you saw that there was communication between Mr. Matlala, for example, and somebody from IPID, where the plan was they want to get General Khumalo arrested. But the other one was saying, hey, now there is no injuries, there is no JD8, so I can't arrest. So we just need leaders that respect their work, but we also, of course, need oversight, that institutions that are meant to do specific work, they do that which they are meant to. They do not chase personal agendas or be weaponized to do nefarious activities and acts. That we need that oversight into institutions, and from the police side, we are prepared to undertake a lot of reforms where we see there are problems, but unfortunately the others we can't. But we need an overall of the system in terms of when it comes to watchdogs. For police watchdog, you have your IPID, you have police secretariat, and you have got all other bodies. So I think maybe as the legislature, you need to look at whether should you have all these many institutions. You have IDEC, you have DPCI. Should you have all these many bodies? Why should you have IDEC and DPCI more or less doing one and the same thing? And you have police secretariat, you have IPID. I know it's there in law, but couldn't you have one institution that is police oversight? In it, you can have a DG with a DDG IPID and a DDG Civilian Secretariat of Police, instead of having too many. And you end up having police, instead of busy fighting crime, they are writing reports to satisfy each and every of these institutions. So that, I think, we need to look at that and look at what these institutions, are they doing what they're supposed to do, or are they weaponized to do other things? So that is the critical matter that is a problem. Institutions are tend and weaponized to do other things. Like we have now, the counterintelligence operations in Gauteng. There is a lot of institutions that want to get rid of it, or they want to get their nose in there, whereas the team is doing quite a good work and they are getting rid of cartels and criminals. So that's the support we need, and also from the executive and members of this honorable House.
So we as lawmakers, we need to, in summary, what you're saying is to ensure that we don't leave a void after we get rid of cartels and politicians that are involved in enabling all this. We need to look at the oversight bodies. We have too many. And perhaps just have one, and that will assist in trying to maintain a clean South African police service.
Yeah, I think if you do that, you will definitely have a better oversight, because now there are many. Some end up, somebody from you end up going to one and say, no, do for me 1, 2, 3. And they end up being busy with all those things. If you have one, you can concentrate on it and do oversight on us, and we do our work. We have got nothing to hide. Hence, I have now, as you heard yesterday, requested the SIU to do lifestyle audit of all members of SAPS, because sometimes some of you of the honorable members and other public people, they are used against us to say, yes, Masemola is corrupt, yes, he's doing that, just to push a narrative that is not really there. Some have been paid to do those things, which is not the truth. So, and public end up believing, no, Masemola is corrupt. I mean, where did I do? Whose money did I chow where? So, if we streamline the oversight on police, that will work quite best. Thanks.
National Commissioner, yesterday you said there's about 840 members that are, I'm now on the vetting and security clearance questions. So you've started a vetting process of about 840 members by an independent service provider, if I remember correctly.
That is correct, Honorable Chair. It is a lifestyle audit, not necessarily
It was
vetting.
for the lifestyle audit.
Audit, yeah.
Okay.
Vetting will still be done by crime intelligence
okay.
and SSA, but this one is a lifestyle audit.
So how did you identify a service provider? Is it a private company? What process did we use in identifying a service provider to do that? And you tell us who the service provider is that's doing the lifestyle audit? Or could we not use someone in the Auditor General? Or anyway, you tell us.
Yeah, I did say, I say it again, the service provider is a Special Investigative Unit.
Oh, it's from the SIU.
Mr. Advocate Mutivi's unit, they have got the capacity to do that. It's a state agency. I thought we can use them. They are independent from us, and they have done other institutions, I think provincial government, Gauteng, they use them. So I engaged the advocate somewhere in April, and there was some glitches along, but eventually we have finalized all those, and it's just final touches, and then he will start. But the identification of the 840 or so is the senior management of SAPS. That is from brigadier up to myself. They will start with that. When they finish, then we targeted environments like your central farm registry, supply chain management, division finance, and port of entry. So those will be the second layer as a priority. And from there, we can then see how far we go, because it's a time-consuming exercise.
So they haven't started yet. The process is about to start, is what I'm getting.
Through you, Honorable Chair, that is correct, Honorable Member.
And they have capacity, because you know, National Commissioner, when we sit in the portfolio committee, we'll say, yeah, we're starting this wonderful project and we're all excited. And then 3 months later, when we get a report, it's like, no, we don't have capacity. There was no resources, as we see with the issue of security clearance, which we're coming to now. And we determined that they're going to have capacity and more or less the time frame to conduct and complete these lifestyle audits of the 840 senior SAPS officials.
Yeah, those details, that's what is being finalized now, Honorable Chairperson.
Security clearance, do you have security clearance, National Commissioner?
I do have, Honorable Chair.
When was it? And it's every 5 years, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
So your last one was done when?
You don't know whether it's 2-3 years ago.
Okay. Why do you appoint people into positions, National Commissioner, when they haven't received the clearance certificates? Because we have a lot of those. And maybe in writing, Chair, we can get that, how many, from, you saying from Brigadier, right, up until the General, we require security clearance. Am I correct?
Honorable Chair, the 840 is senior management
Yeah.
that I'm going to subject to lifestyle audit. It's
Yeah,
a different
I get that,
process. Yes, vetting, well, it depends on where you work, what you do. That's how we prioritize.
Okay.
But of course,
Do
most
you
of the
know,
senior
but
managers.
we have an
will be-
amount, right, of more or less how many people who are in those positions require vetting. Do you have it offhand, or you are obviously able to access that information and submit it to us?
The last year, I think the Division Crime Intelligence, they reached their target in terms of vetting. Actually, they overperformed, they overachieved. And hence, this current year, I gave them the target of 1,500, meaning I said, in that 1,005, make sure you finalize every one of the 840. Currently, some of the 840 senior managers, they do have security clearances, but there is a balance that is left, so they must finalize that. And normally when we appoint people, because it is not due to the people's own or negligence, Honorable Chair, that they don't have security clearance. The way the division was structured from those years, it was structured in such a way that it is impossible for them to vet the SAPs by making sure that their capacity are limited. You recall I said at some point there were about 7, the whole country. 7 vetting 186,000, so it tells you. So, but we are building that capacity in the crime intelligence, and they are increasing number, and the performance is also increasing.
And do we find that
Honorable Matthias, may you,
we're done? Okay.
may you please round up?
One more, Anna.
Yeah.
You said that during the investigations with CAT, you found that there were 80 other cases related to him. Did I understand that correctly?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
And it's expanding over what period, more or less, these cases that have been dangling around the country?
I think it goes far back as 2007.
So, National Commissioner, does that not just tell you that how we have failed the country if we have someone has 80, right, not 18 cases since 2007 up until now, and he's gone under the radar? That speaks to a failed South African police services.
I do agree, Honorable Chair, but we have discovered it ourselves. We are doing something about it.
Thank you. I'm done, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Matthias. Honorable members, when we come back from morning tea, I will need one speaker from the ANC, one speaker from the MKP, one speaker from the DA, one speaker from the EFF. And then after we shall have taken those 4 speakers, we will then break for lunch. I'm just alerting you so that when you come back, you must have lined your speakers. We are now breaking for tea. May we please come back after 15 minutes. From now, it will be 20 minutes before 20 minutes before 12 when we come back from tea. Yeah. Whatever you may want to call it. If you want to call for it a mid-morning tea, you want to call it a stretch break, a comfort break. Yeah,